Hey everyone! As you might know or might not know, we're still missing a couple of biomes. So far we have forest, mountain, cave and dungeon, and I think what we really need now is city biome, swamp, desert and snow biome, or maybe icy cave. We will see about that. Now, for this week I sat down and tried to create a city biome. So I started out by just creating a flat terrain, and in comparison to mountain biome or forest biome, I think we don't need any hills, so I made everything flat. And then I textured this flat terrain plane. I textured it by painting bricks on this plane, and since this looked a bit too flat in my opinion, I intermixed it a little bit with dirt texture. Now on top of this terrain I set up a couple of prefab houses, and these houses don't have to make perfectly sense, right? Like, we don't have to build a perfect city with streets which make sense. As you might know, our combat scenes are only like a small view on a fraction of a city or a fraction of an environment. So like I said, we just want to have like one view which looks good. And if this makes sense in terms of a street which probably would lead towards a temple or something like that, that really doesn't matter. One problem I encountered later on with setting up the houses is that I set up the houses a bit too narrow, because a lot of the time I tried to find angles for good combat scenes, but the houses were blocking the view anyways. After setting up the houses, the next step was to make it a bit more versatile, so I added a lot of props and other prefabs, and in the end I also felt it was not looking too good, so I also added a bit of nature, trees, and I think that made it look a lot more alive. Then comparable to the other biomes we created, I also created these green boxes, which are obstacles. And what these obstacles do, basically on these obstacles you cannot pass in combat, right? And you cannot position any units, allies or enemies. And so then later on I also choose a lighting for the scene. I'm yet not 100% sure if I like the light. Right, it's 3 directional lights with 3 different colors. I'm not 100% sure if I liked it. And then I set up the combat position markers. And the combat position markers are basically the positions where a combat can occur. And for the other biomes I created 10 of these combat position markers, so basically 10 different battle scenes, and it would be very easy to just create a couple more battle scenes because we already have the environment. We just have to find a place and then put a little bit love into the area around this place. But since I just really want to push out the content currently and want to speed up things by a little bit, I only created 5 combat position markers. So if you enter a city mission, currently you can get 1 out of 5 possible scenarios, city scenarios. And now we can take a look at these different city scenarios. So first of all, we have a view at a site where some of the houses burned down, and we have a couple of ruins next to some good buildings. Then we have the view towards a fountain. So it's basically the city center most probably. Then also we have a view directed towards nothing in particular, just some buildings. So just I would say a generic city shot. And we have a marketplace, and last but not least we also have a little graveyard. And if you're wondering what our heroes are fighting against, so these creatures are called mimics, and I would like that they start out as closed chests, and when their special attack energy bar is filled, they will transform into these more dangerous mimics. So as a player you want to focus them before they shapeshift into this more lethal form. Alright guys, but as you might hear in my voice, I'm a little bit sick still, so I keep this short and hope you enjoyed this vlog, and that's it for this week. See you next week and goodbye.